Northwestern speaking. Oh, come on, Morwen. Is it your cramps again? Just suck it up. Periods aren't that bad. I would know. I'll see you in 2 hours. Hey guys! So, periods. Yes, they're gross. Yes, they're yuck. And yes, they're ick. But they are also something that a lot of women experience a lot of stigma with. Mainly the stigma you saw at the start of this video. Women can be the worst for telling other women to suck it up because their period isn't that bad, so it can't be that bad for other women, right? Wrong. There are so many different experiences when it comes to periods, and thankfully a few very lovely ladies I know are willing to share their experiences with us. So Lucy says, I only really get pain a couple of days before it's due to start, and then the first day. I suppose I can become quite irritable, especially during those days when it's painful. I wouldn't say it really affects my daily life. Maybe when they first started, like when I was 13, but now it's just a part of my life, so it's normal. Julia says, from 13 to 29, my periods were pretty regular and I had no cramps or any signs that I was going to start. There was a bit of a problem as the start could vary by 1 to 3 days each month, so I had to make sure I carried supplies with me just in case. After I had my daughter, things went totally in the opposite direction. I would be in agony before they started and they were heavier. Instead of sailing through them each month, I dreaded them. Clots and longer bleeding time was a nightmare. Instead of 5 carefree lightish days, I had up to 7 days of yuck and bad moods. Dawn says, my periods are very heavy, generally 8 days. I struggle to work due to not being able to stand up for a long period of time. I'm on medication to help with the clotting, and at this time I suffer with headaches and abdominal pain, and I tend to overthink more and can be very rational. Danny says, I have polycystic ovaries, so in my teens my period was very heavy and long, between 7 to 10 days, and very painful. I had to go to hospital more than once for pain meds. It stopped me being active and in general made me very self-conscious. In the past few years the pill has stabilised things and now I get the opposite. 2 to 4 day light period with little to no pain. PMS, sorry, my bad. And mine, I started quite early. I was 11 when I started my period and I would be off school for days. I ended up having to go on the pill, the birth control pill. I started it when I was 13 because the period cramps were so bad. I could barely get out of bed. They were just awful. Heavy bleeding for about 5 days and just doubled over crying in pain. So let's make this a bit simpler and take it to the whiteboard.
Okay, so let's look at the different experiences via pain, length, heavy or light, mood, and whether meds were needed or not. So for Lucy, she said, I only really get pain a couple of days before it's due to start. So we'll put a little bit of pain. In regards to length, that's not specified, but that's fine, we'll just put not applicable. In regards to whether it was heavy or light, that's not specified, but she does specify that she can kind of just ignore it. It's now just a part of her life, as she says. So we'll put light, because trust me, heavy periods, oh, they do affect your daily life. For most people, anyhow. In regards to mood, she says she can become quite irritable, and whether meds are needed, but not specified. But if it doesn't affect your daily life, then I think we can safely presume there were no meds needed. So let's move on to the next case. So in Julia's case, she has had 2 completely different experiences based on before she had her daughter and after. So let's put both down just for our different statistics. So to start with, Julia had no cramps at all. But after her daughter, she was in agony. In regards to length, before she had her daughter, it was about 5 days. After her daughter, 7 days. Before her daughter, they were light, and after, they were heavy. Before her daughter, her mood was carefree. After her daughter, she specifies it as bad moods. Before she had her daughter, no meds were required. After her daughter, they definitely were. So on to the next case. Dawn says she gets headaches and abdominal pain, and hers lasts for 8 days. They're very heavy and she can be irrational. And she has mentioned that yes, she's had to use medication. And on to the next case, we have Danny, who said she has a very painful experience. Hers lasts between 7 and 10 days. Hers are very heavy and she gets self-conscious and she has had to use meds. And on our last case, me. I have always had severe pain with my periods. Mine generally last about 7 days. They're generally heavy and my mood goes up and down like a yo-yo. And yes, I do use meds to get through it. So let's take these 5 cases and look at them in a tally. So as you can see, 4 out of 6 people have significant pain. And 2 out of those 6 have little or no pain. 4 out of 6 have heavy periods, 2 out of 6 have light periods. 4 out of 6 have a negative mood, 1 out of 6 has a positive mood, and 1 out of 6 has a mixed mood. 4 out of 6 of the cases need meds.
So as you can see, these are pretty significant numbers. I know it's only 6 cases, but still, you can see that variation, that some people get little or no pain. I wish I knew what that was like. And a lot of people get really, really severe pain. And I kind of want this video just to point out to anyone out there, specifically women, who might think, oh, well mine aren't that bad, so how can others be that bad? Trust me, some women are debilitated by them. For example, I am not able to get out of my bed or do anything at all, even so much as get up to go to the bathroom when my cramps are in full swing. Now the next thing I want to show you, I just want to do a quick thing beforehand, and that is before taking any kind of medication, speak to your doctor or pharmacist. And 2, I am not sponsored in any way. I just rely on these every single month, which is why I'm recommending them. Feminax. Feminax Express is the best thing ever invented, hands down. I was going to say period there, and then I realized it would be a really bad pun. I use these every single month, and usually as soon as I realize I'm going to start cramping, as soon as I get a little hint, I immediately take 2 of these. And thanks to these, I can have a normal week when I'm on my period. If it weren't for these, I'd be holed up in bed, being able to do nothing but sob and feel sorry for myself. Especially now I'm off the pill, because for me, like I say, I went on the pill when I was 13, purely to try and calm down the cramps, because they were that bad. Now I'm off the pill, I need these again. I didn't remember just how bad it was until that couple of months coming off the pill, and the proper cramps started up again, and I realized, oh crap, I forgot, I really need something to help. And someone recommended me these, and they're the best thing ever. But like I say, don't ever just take something, talk to your doctor, talk to your pharmacist, especially if you are currently on medication and want to try these. Just speak to them just to make sure you're going to be okay. So anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. My question for you this week is, females, what is stigma that you have come across regarding periods, or myths or misconceptions? And males, if you made it this far, congratulations, thank you so much and well done for making it through some icky talk with us. When you have been aware that a female you know is on their period, how do you react? Do you run away, or do you go with the chocolate flowers, satisfy the beast kind of thing? Leave your comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys, hear your stories, your opinions, anything like that. And as always, hit that like button if you did like the video, hit subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you in the next video next Wednesday. Bye!